deeper and deeper and deeper in ourselves, we can understand it more. So first is health. Now health has two main streams. One, prevention, and second, cure. So first important criteria to remain healthy is how can I prevent myself from those illnesses which are encountering me in my daily life. And that is very important. And that is the goal of everybody, and that is your own responsibility to yourself. It is my own responsibility to myself. So health. Second part of the health is cure. Once the illness comes to you, maybe it is infection, maybe it is due to accident, maybe it is due to some natural calamities, or maybe it can be due to the aging process. These are mostly four kind of causes of illness. Can be infection, germs, bacteria, virus, fungus, candida, protozoans like paramecium, euglena, amoeba. So it can be, one is an infectious disease. Second is accidental. You fell down and you broke your legs or your bones or your skull. Third kind of diseases are related with your lifestyle. Metabolic diseases. You have diabetes, you have blood pressure, you have obesity, you have menstrual diseases or erectile dysfunction, any kind of hormonal disease. They are all metabolic diseases. And it is very important for all of us to understand them, to find the main cause of them, and then to protect ourselves from them. Prevention means protection. So for infection, we can't do very much, and for infection, what I believe in accidental medicine, infectious medicine, you can take care with the emergency help. You go to hospital and they have a very good equipment to get a pinpoint diagnosis, and then they can make a surgery or they can make you medication for short time period. Quickly. So what we call modern medicine is very good for the accidental medicine and a strong infection. Now I'm not including all infection. There can be a minute infection, can be healed by itself. For example, if you have a common cold, there's a virus infection. Don't need anything. You can just drink a hot ginger tea or just hot ginger soup or garlic ginger soup, and it takes 5 to 7 days and it heals by itself. Your own immune system is able to heal it. But a strong infection, for example, if somebody has a streptococcus infection, the infection of throat, which goes inside and it can cause pneumonia. So, or you have a Mycobacterium tuberculosis, some kind of TBC bacteria in you, or you can have some kind of inflammatory conditions which have a deep-seated infection. Then you need a modern medicine, what we call antibiotics. So this is cure process when you need help from outside. But there is other kind of diseases which consist a majority of your illness, what we call lifestyle disorder. For example, say blood pressure. Do you need any medicine for blood pressure? No. Why? Because blood pressure is developed within you with your habits, eating habits, sleeping habits, exercising habits, daily regularities, stress in your work, stress in your relationship, or diabetes, metabolic disorder, that is also gradually developed unless it is not inborn, like a type 1 diabetes. So type 2 diabetes is metabolic. Type 1 diabetes is coming from parents. It is inherited. So unless it is not inherited, then you can cure it by prevention. Or insomnia, for example, sleep disorder, stress, anxiety, depression, psychotic conditions, schizophrenia, including schizophrenia. They are all problems related with your lifestyle. Lifestyle not only means what you eat, but lifestyle means also how you are dealing with your daily stress. We all encounter stress in our life. What kind of stress we have? Work stress, relationship stress, social stress, and economical stress. That's all. Whether it is a problem with economy or with the work in the boss or your colleagues or maybe your society, that your friends or other people surrounding you, they're causing you stress, or your relationship. These are mostly 4 causes or causative factors behind the stress. So dealing with the stress, how good you are in dealing with the stress, that is what we call preventive medicine, prevention. And this is very important to understand, that today we are living in the world where we have too many information. But to assemble these information and fit in your own life is very important. That is what is the role of an expert. While there are many experts, what is the role of expert? We have all information. You just Google out anything and you can get hundreds of information. But the role of expert is to assemble them, fit them in your need, according to your need, to fit them together according to your need. For example, if you go to the doctor and you have a streptococcus infection, what your doctor is giving you? Gram-negative antibiotica for the gram-negative bacteria. But how do you know that what kind? Because there is several antibiotics. There are more than list of 20 antibiotics which are good for gram-negative bacteria. How will you understand that which and in what dose and in what frequency you have to take them? This is the role of doctor. But information are there. But to put them together and assemble them and fit them according to your requirement is the role of an expert. This is what the doctor does. They are not just giving you anything extra from the information you have, but they are expert in formulating it according to your requirement. Preventive medicine. Preventive medicine. And this is very vast subject again. How can we prevent? So this is, we are talking about the first objective of the life, I said, health. Okay? Second, happiness. Like she said, happiness. Without happiness, what is the purpose of life? If you do not feel happy, if you are feeling gloomy or sad or stressed or depressed or anxiety, how the life will be? Imagine that you don't have joy in your life, you don't have happiness in your life. Happiness itself is a vast subject. There is a 2 different kind of happiness. One happiness is, we call it volatile, temporarily. And second is permanent, which remain with you for a long time. What is volatile or temporary happiness? I give you an example. For example, if you in your country, what is your favorite play? Football, maybe? You play football. So imagine that your team reached to the World Cup semi-final. And they play with the Germany. And then maybe they win. If they win, do you feel happy or sad?
Yes, happy.
You feel not only happy, you will feel very happy. Because that joy of finding unexpected expectation, to fill unexpected expectation. For example, you never thought that Mexico can ever go to the football semi-final World Cup and play with Germany and win. And this unexpected become true. So joy will pump up. It will be 1,000 times very big joy. But maybe the next time there is a final and it is lost in the final with the other team, the joy will come down. So in semi-final it goes very high and then it will come back because that moment when you are going out of the stadium with the lost team, you will have a down shoulders, down headed. So that is what I mean, temporary joy. Volatile. It comes quickly, it's like a bubble. Comes quickly and go away quickly. Second kind of joy is permanent joy. What is permanent joy? Now, difference between permanent joy and temporary joy is the temporary joy comes like a bubble, very quickly high, and then it goes away. But permanent joy comes very slowly and gradually. You build it very slowly and gradually, then it sustains there for a long time. I give you an example for that. Imagine that you are driving to your office, and there in the road, after driving few kilometers, you find that somebody has an accident and is falling on the road and blood is coming out, and that person need help. And then you looked at it and you said nobody is there, it is very early morning and maybe nobody will be able to see it again. So you took this responsibility that I would like to bring this to the hospital. But then maybe at the same time you have a conflict. Oh, if I go to the hospital, I will become late to the office. I have an important meeting to the office and I will have a problem in the office. So you have a conflict. Shall I bring it? Because a good part of you, everybody has a good part and bad part. A good part of you always want to help. And bad part of you, which we call ego part of you, want individual benefit. Oh no, I have that, I will miss that. If I do this, I will miss that. Because from here I get nothing. From there I maybe get a big increment. One, self-interest, other, selfless. Now, this person, you have a conflict, and now in this conflict it depends on who wins. If a good part of you, you nurture it and nourish it or practice to develop it, it will win. You will bring the person to the hospital and then you go to the office and maybe you have a little conflict with your boss, but when boss know that you are late for the good cause, maybe the problem will get solved. But if your ego part is strong, you are nurturing your ego part and ego part win, and you go to your office and then after next day in newspaper you find that there was a person has an accident and died. Will you feel little bad by listening that news? Definitely everybody, because that good part of you feels sad, not bad part. Oh, I could help that person and bring it to the hospital, but I didn't. So that feel little guilty inside. That is a bad, so a bad part win. So what is a sustained happiness? Imagine that you bring that person to the hospital and that person survived, and then later his family came and he get conscious, and then he come to you and he thanks you so much and his whole family thanks you so much, and then your office knows about it and they all praise that, oh, you have done very good job, or maybe your local government department also give you an honor or just send you a note that, oh, you have done fabulous job. Throughout your life, whenever you remember these incidents, it will bring you some kind of joy. Not very happy, but you feel little smile in you that yes, I have done something. You have that we call satisfaction of doing something. Where did joy come from? Not from here, not from mind. It comes from the soul inside you. That is real you. And that is what I said, a good part of you and a bad part of you. Now, little bit more introduction of what is good part and bad part. Do you know good part and bad part of you? We say in spiritual philosophy that human being is created by the divine in such a way that given all attribute to it, a good attribute and a negative and positive attribute. So we are actually have within us two different kind of energies, you can call. One is the divine energy and other is the evil energy. So difference between divine and evil is, divine is pure, with the full of positive emotions, compassion, truthfulness, purity, clarity, love, affections. The evil energy is opposite. Ego, shatteredness, fear, anger, gloom. So we have this all, you and me, everybody, we are attributed with this because this is how we are on this earth. Now what is the purpose of this life? To become healthy and happy. How? Now you can make yourself happy by nurturing the evil part. I told you, evil part is more individuality, ego. So I am able to win millions in the lottery. So I become happy or sad? Happy. Why? If other person win the same amount, you will become happy or not happy? Not happy. So why, when you win, then you are happy because it is an individual that I win. When you get some power, when somebody praise you that you look very beautiful today in this whole party, your dress is very beautiful, you looks very beautiful. It makes you happy or sad? Happy. Why? If somebody in front of you praise your friend and say, oh, she looks very pretty today, then does that give you same happiness or not? It doesn't give you same happiness because the difference, there is an ego. What is ego? Do you know ego? What is ego? A very simple definition of ego is separation self. Separation self. There is a wall between you and me. So you are you and I am I. We are different. That is ego. You are you and I am I. I have no connection with you. And if I have a connection with you, it is again connected with the requirement, desire. I marry you, I like you because you are beautiful. I like you because you are rich. I like you because you have something to give me. If you have nothing to give me, you are not beautiful, you are not rich, you cannot give me anything, I don't like you. Yes or not? This is how the word works. So what is that? There is a wall between you and me, that you are you and I am I. If you feel pain, does I feel the same pain? No. But imagine if you have a son or a daughter, a child who is like 3-year-old, for example. If your 3-year-old daughter fell down and have a strong pain, do you feel the pain? Yes. Why? Because there is no ego between you and his. That you say, this is mine. There is oneness. This is mine. This child is my child. This daughter is my daughter. I love her same like I love myself. So there is no separation self. So that's why when your daughter feels she is a strong fever, you cannot sleep whole night. You say, oh, I have to do whatever I can do to make her better, I will do. Even I have to sacrifice my sleep or sacrifice my comfort or sacrifice anything I can. Or I don't go to work 3 days. My first priority is to take care of my daughter or my son. Why? Because it is mine, there is oneness, there is no wall. So what is ego? Ego is a wall between you and me. You are a Mexican and I am Indian. You are Mexican and I am Indian. So if I go with that mindset, then I say you are you and I am I. No connection. That is ego. And ego is an important part of your mind. What is mind? You know what is mind? Mind is composed of 4 different compartment, chambers. So one chamber is ego. Second chamber is, we call it manas. Manas literally means the mind part which has desires, which create desire. I look at a nice thing and I say, I want that. I look at a car, I want that. I look at a house, I want that. I look at a nice dress, I want that. So these desires are created in that particular part that we call manas. Second part is called buddhi, wisdom, intellectual part. It says, yes, you want it, but it is out of your reach. It is way expensive that you can't pay for it. Or you want to go there, but you don't have the time and opportunity to go there. So there is a controlling power within you. Third is called chitta. Chitta is a power which is composed of your, we call it samskara, your habits. For example, you are grown in a different climate, I am grown in a different climate. When I meet somebody elder than me, I am learned from my parents that I touch their feet and just I bow down, just to greet them. But you are teach differently. You say you shake hand or you hug each other. That's how you are teach. So I am touching their feet and taking their blessing, and you are just hugging. But that is your habit build, how your parents or your society or your teacher taught you. So that particular habits within you, that particular habits within me can be different. So that fill that compartment which we call chitta. In Sanskrit we call it samskara. How we receive the life experiences from our surrounding, what we learn from our surrounding. So this is mind, and last is ego. So these all together four create this mind. So to break that, because the mind, ego, I told you, is an evil part of you, because it separates you, that makes you more selfish, that don't make you selfless. Selfless is divine, selfish is evil. So when you become, when I talk about lifestyle diseases, if you go in deep depth of that, you will say 90% of lifestyle diseases are there because of selfishness and greed. Greed in Ayurveda, later maybe you understand, we have three aspects, Vata, Pitta and Kapha, which are composed of 5 elements. So it is related with the Kapha, heaviness, greed. Pitta is related to the anger, resentment, violence. Vata is related with fear, timidness, weakness, fatigue. So most of the lifestyle diseases are coming from you in your mind. So that mind which has an evil dominance. But if you have a divine dominance in your mind, divine dominance comes when you have your intellect is stronger, buddhi is stronger, wisdom is stronger. So this is one aspect of happiness. It's purpose of elaborating this or explaining it. So you know what is the difference between volatile happiness and deep longing happiness. So when you're doing something out of selfishness, or when you're doing something selflessly, that joy gives you a long-lasting happiness or joy. Maybe its intensity is low, but it is everlasting. When you are doing something out of selfishness, my team win, I receive this, I win this lottery, I am the most beautiful in this party, I win this title. This happiness is it is stronger, but it stays shorter. And that is selfish, selfless, selfish, selfless, selfish. Selfless is divine, selfish is evil. Both are within me. What I am nurturing, which I am feeding, that grow in me. And that cause diseases. I am just telling you because how disease comes to you. Today, there is a lot of research done by the people, especially on pranayama section, breathing section, because breathing is directly connected with our thoughts. And they found that many diseases, almost 70% lifestyle diseases, you can cure by breathing and mental settling. There is a mental settling process. We call it meditation, but meditation has now many different kinds. So, the second was happiness. Third is freedom, purpose of your life. Freedom. Freedom everybody know. Is there anybody you know that is not free or have a freedom? Actually, today's life, imagine that you are completely free. You have no problem with earning money. You have no problem, you have no pressure to go to work. You have no pressure to follow somebody's advice. You have no pressure to, you have to just live yourself completely and calmly. You have no pressure, any other pressure. That is what we call freedom. Nobody is pressurizing you. Not freedom means you wake up 6 o'clock and say, oh my God, I am getting late. I have to be at my work at 7 o'clock and maybe there will be a traffic in. So I have to rush. Freedom or not freedom? No freedom. Oh, I would like to go to some party late evening, but my boss gives me so much work. How will I finish that in time? Pressure. Stress. Oh, I wanted to join that trip, but I am short with money. How will I get that? Pressure. Oh, I would like to meet this guy. I love him very much and I am very much attracted to him, but he don't want to date with me. Pressure. Stress. No freedom. Freedom or no freedom? So freedom is connected with stress. So when you are out of stress, you are free. When you are in stress, no free. In other language, we can say when you have any kind of negative emotions, you are not free. When you have positive emotions, you are free. And fourth is knowledge. Knowledge is very important because to become healthy, to become happy, to become free, you need knowledge. What is knowledge? There are again two kinds of knowledge. Knowledge to understand the external world and knowledge to understand internal world. Internal world is energy world. External world is physical world. So whatever we are doing outside, to build a house or to buy a car or to buy the dresses or to just go travel around different landscapes, it's all external world. What is internal world? You sit down, close your eyes, focus on your breath, go inside. If you ever try it, in the beginning it is difficult because mind is always working. It is not stabilized. But when you are able to stabilize it or control it or make it more stable, you will be able to acknowledge that glimpse. You will be able to get a glimpse of that calmness within you. And that is freedom. That day you will understand what is the real freedom. But that all need knowledge. So, health, happiness, freedom, and knowledge. Okay? This is the purpose of everybody's life, including me and everybody. Now I ask you another question. How much health, happiness, freedom, and knowledge? How much? How much happiness? How much freedom? How much health? How much knowledge? No limit. When you say no limit, there is actually one word, English word for that. We say till perfection. Until it reach to the perfection. Perfect. How much happiness? Perfect. Perfect means when it touches the upper limits, when there is no more limit. For example, if I want to jump, how long I can jump? Until the ceiling. After ceiling I can't go more because that is my perfection. But when I go outside, I have no perfection. I have no limit. But there must be a limit. Maybe we don't know about it, but everywhere there is a perfection. So, till perfection, happiness, perfection, health, perfection, freedom, perfection, knowledge, perfection. Do you know anybody who is perfect? No. In physical or in material world, no perfection. But if we go in deep in spiritual philosophy, I say there is one person who is perfect, is known as God. A divine being. Just to make it not religious, non-religious, you can say a divine being. You know what is divine being? What is divine being?
Someone with consciousness, with contact.
Someone.
With awareness. That
you can say someone who pervades everywhere. Who is everywhere? Who is a part of air? Who is a part of ether? Who is a part of water? Who is a part of earth? Who is a part of universe? Who is a part of galaxy? Who is a part of everything? Each and every particle is composed, cannot be composed without him, without his energy. I give you one example, just to understand it. You see, there is a air conditioned vent. There is a electricity lighting somewhere. There may be fan, there may be the television in your room. If you see, there may be a heater which make a heat. There may be hundreds of different equipment in your house. Okay? What these all equipment need to run? Electricity. So equipment can be several, and they are all different in shape and size, and their function can be different. The air condition gives us a cooling. Heater give us a heating, fan give us a air, television give us images, mobile phone give us different attribute. They are all different, but what is common thing in them? Electricity. They all cannot perform without electricity. So there is one thing which is in everything is energy. What is electricity? Is energy. So what is divine being? It is just the energy, nothing more than that. That's why we can't see it with our naked eye. I use the word we can't see it with the naked eyes. It means we can see it, but not with the naked eyes. We need another eyes to see him. It is very difficult in the beginning to understand, but it is possible. Why I am saying this? You all know about it. Have you all heard about Buddha? He was a Siddhartha or a prince in the beginning. Why did he left his reign? He has money, he has a power, he has all kind of services, what he expect ever. Why did he left his reign, his kingdom? And gone through different hard experiences. If you read about the autobiography of his journey, how he lived, till Siddhartha became Buddha, he has gone through very hard life. And finally, what did he achieve? Himself, his own identity. That is why what we call enlightenment or self-realization. He realized himself. What does it mean? It means there is that divine being within you which you can see, but not with these physical eyes. You need another eyes, and we all have that eyes. How will we prove that? Not scientifically, but logically we can say, according to Ayurveda and yogic science, we human beings are composed of different bodies. We are not just how we look, a mirror image. We have a body inside our body. We call first body what we call physical body. It is called Annamaya Kosha, which is made out of food. Food, whatever we are eating physically, that create this external body is called physical body. Beneath this physical body, there is a pranic body, energy body. But not that energy which we call divine. Physical energy. The energy what we get from our food. When we eat something, drink something inside our body, it is metabolized to energy. And that energy we use for our various physical functioning. I raise my hand, it needs energy. But that goes through metabolism. So that energy, what we breathe, drink and eat. Okay, that physical energy, that's called pranic body. Then beneath that there is another body called mental body, which composed our thoughts, our thinking, our desire. Then next body is called bliss body, happiness, that joy we already discussed, which selfless joy we accumulate gradually in our life, that create that strata, that energy field that we call the bliss body. Then intellectual body. And then finally the last sixth body which we call soul body, Atmic body. That is your pure aspect of you. So if you want to understand the health and happiness, we need to understand that it should come from inside out, not outside in. So this is very important aspect to understand in the beginning. Now the final thing is to understand that health topic in Ayurvedic perspective. We all human beings are composed of nature. We are part of nature. What is nature? What is nature? Nature is a symbol or a composition of 5 elements. Earth, the solid ground, water, air, ether, sperm means space, and fire, what we receive from the sun, or what we burn, fire. So earth, water, fire, air, and ether. These are the 5 elements which compose nature. Now, these 5 elements we need every moment for our survival, for our health. Whether it is physical health, mental health, or emotional health, we need. How? Anything what we eat in solid form, that is earth element. The bread you eat, the cheese you eat, the rice you eat, the porridge you eat, the pudding or whatever you eat, solid form, earth element. What you drink, water element. What you breathe, air element. The through potency, that energy, that heat what you receive, like you say, many food, they have a different potency. Say ginger, even you take it out of fridge, but it has a fire within it. It gives you fire element. Black pepper give you fire element. Cumin give you fire element. Turmeric give you fire element. Coffee give you fire element. Your chocolate give you fire element. Mangoes give you fire element. There are several food which are hot in potency. Through them, inside you receive this fire element. What is the biggest source of fire element? Sun. Sun is the biggest source of fire element. Second biggest source of fire element is external fire that we are cooking through. And then this food through which we get this potency. So we are receiving every moment this fire element. Then ether. Ether means space. Do you understand that you have a space within you? If there is no space, then imagine that in this room we are here. Can we move easily? Why? Because there is a space. Imagine there is 1,000 people in this. Can we move the same way? Why? Because there is no space. In the same way, in your blood, if your blood becomes thick, for example, say diabetes people, their blood is thick, blood doesn't move. That's why we say diabetes can cause many illness. It can cause glaucoma, it can cause the club blindness, it can cause you the kidney diseases, it can cause you the obesity, it can give you the skin burning. Why? Because blood doesn't move. And why? If the blood doesn't move, air doesn't move. The nutritional component doesn't move. There is no metabolism. So there is many other problem associated with the diabetes. Same way with the obesity. If your body is very thick and big, there is no movement. There is no ether element in opposite way we can say. There is no ether. If there is no ether, there is no movement or very little movement. If there is a little movement, many illnesses. So our body needs movement. So ether element is responsible for that. And air element. Air you all you know. Oxygen. How important oxygen is for us. So these are the component of nature which we need every day. If we are taking them in a proper composition, we are able to maintain a good health. When we are not taking them in a proper composition, we tend to become sick. This is a very simple principle behind Ayurveda. Do you acknowledge this? You understand this?
Yes.
Now, where is the problem? Where is the problem? Now you can see everywhere there is a problem. For example, say food. Are we eating healthy? Ask this question to yourself. If yes, you will never become physical deficient. And that physical deficiency illness will not come to you. I'm not talking about all illness because there can be a illness with the fire element, illness with the air element, but only earth element, food. So food can cause you one kind of problems. So what is the good food and bad food? Although in Ayurveda it is a very vast subject. We have 6 different aspects of it, in which first we divide into the gunas, attributes, hot potency, cold potency, light, heavy. Heavy are difficult to digest, light are very easy to digest, or some are movable, some are not movable, sar and asar, char and snake and ruksh. Some are dry, some are giving you more humid or moist. Different attribute, but in simple way for a common man, because I cannot give that detailed lecture here. In a simple language, which is good food and bad food, everybody knows. Good food, those food which are fresh and freshly cooked. Fresh or freshly cooked. Fresh or freshly cooked. Fresh means any kind of food which you can eat without cooking. Say salad. You can eat your lettuce, you can eat your cucumber, you can eat your carrots, you can eat your beetroots, you can eat your broccoli, you can eat all kind of fruits. They don't need to be cooked. Fresh. Or freshly cooked. Freshly cooked means you take a potato and boil it. And then eat it until it is warm. Freshly cooked. If you take this potato and then maybe you cook 5 potato and you eat 3 and 2 put in a fridge and you put it out next day, that is not fresh anymore. That we call stale food. That we call sattva, rajas and tamas. That is called tamasic food. Tamasic literally means which give you a negative. Now potato is positive or negative. It can be both. Or I give you another example to become good food to bad food. So one example, potato, boil, eat until it is warm. We call it good food. Okay. Now you take the same potato, cut it in small slices and make a French fries. Now this good food, even if it is fresh, it becomes rajasic food. Means it doesn't have a dark effect, but it has a clogging effect in you. It can stimulate your digestive acid. Over-stimulate digestive acid can cause you hyperacidity, can cause you ulcerative colitis, can cause you peptic ulcer, can cause you even gallbladder stone, because it can also affect your gallbladder secretions. Or take another example, that you take this potato, cut in a small slice and make a chips out of it. And in chips, to preserve it, you have to put some preservatives. So it becomes thermosic. It even becomes more damaging, health damaging food. So very simple way to understand the food. If it is fresh or freshly cooked, good food. I am not discriminating between the food or not giving you groups of food. Second, everybody knows the bad food. We all know that drinking alcohol, drinking soda, drinking colas, drinking the hot beverage like coffee, we all know they don't have a health effect. They have unhealthy effect. Yes or no? In the same way, I don't know about Mexico, but I know about America, that they drink water with ice. You go to a restaurant and they serve in a restaurant. I have been several times in US. That's why I know that first thing they put you water and then they put ice cube in it. Now, cold water with ice cube is harmful to your body. Extremely harmful to your body. Why? Because our inside body maintains a temperature. We need 37 degrees centigrade or 98.6 degree Fahrenheit inside. When the temperature gets less, our body has to heat it up. So lot of blood needed to come there, because blood heat will heat it up. Plus liver control the temperature. Liver is a thermoregulator and our hypothalamus. These two organs are. So your brain is under influence, your liver is under influence, and your blood is under influence. What for? Just to heat up this one glass of water. So, what is good food and what is not good food? Very simple way to understand it. Okay. Second is drink water. I gave you already an example that the water in front of you, good water or bad water?
Good one.
Today, in modern days, they have made a research, and they say that if the water is kept in a plastic for more than 48 hours, the minute plastic particles will dissolve in the water. So you are drinking a plastic. I am not talking about a water anyway, but I am scientifically telling you what the science says. So there is a plastic particles. That's why in a good, what we call a gourmet restaurant, they serve you water in a glass bottle. They don't serve you water in a plastic bottle. That's why if you go in any house in India, although they have a steel container or they have a glass container, they don't use plastic container. Unfortunately, these days people start, because they have a fridge bottle, we call it for the summer fridge bottle, all bad plastic. But I'm just telling you, I'm not scaring you up, but just telling you, inside this, there is a two bad, what she said, bad water, I acknowledge that, because the water is old. I don't know when this water was filled in it. Now, one important thing, because we are talking about a spiritual philosophy, that water is very sensitive to energy. If you say bad word to the water, say, this is a dirty water, how can I drink it? It just creates a lot of problem to me. And you drink it, definitely it will create this problem to you. In India, we have a system when we just make a ritual for the god. Water is an important component. We have a kalas asthapana. Kalas means a pot filled in water, and then the priest is doing a special rituals, putting some kind of what we called a lawn grass in it, and just spinning it in a circular movement and saying some mantras to awaken the energy within that we call kalas asthapana. That create an energy within it. So maybe you all have heard about, there was a Japanese scientist. His name was Emoto, and he made a scientific test in it. He took a water and frozen it in a crystallized form and take a photograph. So he took a water and say bad word to you. Bad word to the water, the dirty water, bad water. Then crystallize it, take a photo, and he can see the dark image inside. Same water he took and he praised it. He said, "Oh, you are great and you are life-saving and you're giving me." And then he crystallized it. He said there was a bright light in it. That was scientific evaluation of this. So this water or any water, what is the best water?
Ganga water.
Tap water.
The best water is a spring water. The water which is flowing from upside down. Also Ganga water, but Ganga water has a different way because it is also connected with a religious belief. But the best water in a cosmopolitan without a religion is a spring water. It comes from the high altitude. If you go, for example, the source of Ganga, where the Ganga especially started, that is the best water. Or any water which is from the high mountain down. Second best water is the lake water. River water. Third best water is the lake water. So, why I am saying the best and this, what is this water? This water is filtered and underwent through the osmosis process. Reverse osmosis, what we call RO process. So minerals are taken out of that. It say mineral water, but it doesn't have any minerals in it.
Sir, breakfast
ठीक है, I'm going to close.
नहीं अपन ऐसा करें ब्रेकफास्ट ले लें फिर वापस जो कि मेडिकल
बस मैं ये लेक्चर वाला पार्ट खत्म करता हूँ, उसके बाद दूसरा पार्ट ले लेंगे.
ठीक.
ब्रेकफास्ट. Okay, so I am just concluding in 5 minutes. Just giving you the purpose of this lecture was to introduce you that what is the Ayurvedic aspect of understanding health. And health not only means physical health or illness, health is connected with all these bodies I mentioned you, physical body, pranic body, mental body, the emotional body, the intellectual body, the bliss body and the soul body. You should know about it. Whether you are able to practice it or not, that's another thing, but you should have a glimpse of that. Second thing, causative factor of illness. Food is one causative factor. I told you good food and bad food. Water is the second causative factor. I told you what is a good water and bad water. Third is the fire, warmth. People who are living in a Scandinavian country in the winter time, look at them, how depressed they are at that time. How many digestive problems they have at that time. Why? Because it's a dark and cold and gloomy. I have been in Sweden in December and January 2014. That was the worst period I have ever spent anywhere. Because I am from this country where there is all seasons. And there is dark. 10 o'clock sun comes up without any sunlight. It is just like a light. And then 2 o'clock it goes away. And you are living in this cold and dark atmosphere and unnatural light. So fire element, sun is the biggest source of water. In Ayurveda we say that best time to eat your food is lunchtime. Although breakfast or lunch. You can eat as much as you want to eat for your breakfast or for your lunch. Why? Because sun is breakfast time it is going up. So it is slowly ascending this digestive fire within you. Sun is related with the fire. And at the noon it is at its peak. And then it descends. So that's why we say evening meal should be as little as possible. When should you eat and how much should you eat and what should you eat? These are three different criteria of eating food. So when? Breakfast, lunch and dinner. How much? Breakfast, because digestive fire is growing as much as you can. Lunch, you can eat to fill up yourself completely. And dinner, as less as possible. So fire has an importance to give you that energy which can digest your food, which can circulate your oxygen and your nutrients, and which can metabolize them, because metabolization also need an energy. Plus thinking also need an energy. Whatever you are doing need an energy, and that is related with the fire element. Then air element, importance of air, we all know that oxygen and oxygen give us energy. But there is another aspect of oxygen is that it is very important for your mental thinking. If you are very much in stress, anger, fear, anxiety, no good sleep, try to regulate your breathing, your mind will get regulated by itself. Very important aspect which is taught to us since ages through yoga system. How breathing and mind streams are connected together. Experience this, you will understand it. And then ether element, I already explained you the importance of space. Now these 5 elements, fire, air, ether, earth and water within our body are assembled together and create 3 biological forces which we call Vata, Pitta and Kapha. Vata is a biological force within me which is composed of air and ether. Air and ether. Pitta is a biological force within me which is composed of fire and water. And Kapha is a biological force within me and within you which is composed of earth and water. So imagine earth and water, mud, heavy, thick like a mucus. That is Kapha. So if the Kapha increases in your body, then sluggishness will increase in your body. The body will become slow, sluggish, tired, slow. Then fire and water, Pitta, fire and water. Fire, energy, water, movable. So it is a very good for creating energy within you. So your good metabolism, your good energy, your good attitude towards things, your good mental state, Pitta. That's why Pitta energy is known as a very good driving force, kinetic energy. And Vata, air and ether. Air, subtle, ether, subtle, related with the brain, with the mind. So too much mental attributes, mental thinking, restlessness, anxiety, depression, fear, all related with that. Not only negative, positive also, because Vata creates positivity in the form of creativeness. If you are an architect and you want to create a different design and you have a Vata force, you can be very good. Or if you are a planner, planning anything, like you are a trip planner or a city planner or any kind of planning you are, then if you have a Vata attribute, it is very creative. So Vata's attribute is creativity. Pitta's attribute is energy, metabolism. And Kapha's attribute is stability. Kapha provides you stability. You are sitting and relaxing and you don't have this kind of anxiety that, oh, I have to see this and I have to go there and here only one day is how much I can see and whatever I can visit, and I have to take this photograph and that photograph, I can visit to this doctor and get little glimpse, I can go to yoga class, I can also visit there. That is Vata. You want to do many things. Kapha's attribute is stability. You are here, nice scene, Ganga is flowing, sun is shining, weather is very nice, sit, relax and enjoy. That is Kapha. No, I have to go there, do this, that is Vata. And in between something, that I do something meaningful which is in my reach, that is Pitta. So Vata, Pitta and Kapha are the 3 contributing attributes in health according to Ayurveda. Okay, so what is Ayurvedic diagnosis? In Ayurveda, in order to understand how healthy you are, we need to understand what is the degree and the status of this Vata, Pitta and Kapha in you. If the Vata is high or Pitta is high or Kapha is high or 2 are high, 1 is low, that help us to understand the nature of your health and illness. And in Ayurveda, to understand the nature of your pulse, Vata, Pitta, Kapha, we check it through pulse. So that's why pulse diagnosis is one of the most relevant and important diagnosis in Indian medical system. Pulse diagnosis. So what the pulse tell us? 2 things. 1, what is current status of Vata, Pitta, Kapha in you at the moment, and which organ or which system it is affecting, whether it's affecting digestive system or liver or kidney or pancreas or heart or lungs or brain. That information it gives us. Second information it gives us about what is your constitutional type. Constitutional type literally means at the time when child gets conceived in the womb of mother, what is the status of Vata, Pitta, Kapha in mother and father? that goes to the child. What we call genetically, it goes to the child. And that creates a specific personality of the child. So that we can say Vata personality or Pitta personality or Kapha personality, or Vata constitution, Pitta constitution or Kapha constitution. For example, you might see some people who are always skinny and they eat everything, they eat junk and they whatever they eat, but they never get fat. On the other hand, you see some people who take care of their food and who are just doing also some kind of fasting, but they can't lose their weight easily. Why it is so? Because they have different constitution. A person who cannot lose his or her weight easily, Kapha constitution. The person cannot gain weight easily is Vata constitution. The person is in moderate is Pitta constitution. Sometimes we can see the people with the two together, one dominant and other supporting constitution. So what is your constitution? That is very important to understand, because that will help you to know what kind of food you can eat, what kind of daily routines or exercises will help you to maintain your health or to prevent you from the illness, or if there is any kind of illness already there. Sometimes people have illness but in a small degree, so that there is no strong symptom, so people don't care about it. Yes or not? We have it. I give you one example. When you have a car, do you bring your car to the service every year? Yes? Or when you bring your car to the service when it is broken? Every year. Why? Because you don't have to wait till they're broken. Do you do the same to your body? Sometimes. But not regularly like a car. So car is more important than your body. While it should be opposite. What is servicing to your body? Very simple way to service your body. Like in India, we have a different rituals. One of the rituals we call fasting. Give a rest to your body. Fasting is giving rest to your body. Second way is to meditate. Empty your mind. Like empty your body, empty your mind. Third way, if you already have some problems, then you can go to some detox place and detoxify yourself. So, with this coming session, what we are going to do, that anybody of you who are interested, they can just make a time. I am here only up to 12 o'clock, so I think 3 or 4 people I can see. So, you can make a time today with that. I am going to check your pulse. I am going to examine your physiological organs to understand what is the nature of your problem, and then I will explain you what I find and what you can do to do that. So that is a consulting part.
Doctor,
Breakfast ke baad
this is beautiful. It's beautiful, and I don't want to cut it, but they're gonna take us
Yes.
breakfast out. So
Yes.
we have to organize it somehow. So let's